Hey, indie filmmakers, I'm Griffin Hammond.
I'm Nick Bodmer, and I'm finally getting myself a nice lightweight travel tripod. The question is, how much would you be willing to spend?
Plus, a rapid flip system for your filters, my missing half marathon photos, and a mysterious announcement from Panasonic.
Wow, we have mystery, we have missing things. This is kind of an exciting one.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to talk about today. But the first thing is you have backed a Kickstarter campaign.
I have backed a Kickstarter. So Peak Design, who makes the backpack that I very much enjoy, has just launched a travel tripod Kickstarter. And it came at kind of a perfect time for me. I had just gone on a trip. And as you know, I've got a Manfrotto tripod that we've had since high school. Which
like you're still using that big, it must be aluminum or something. I don't know what it's made out of.
Where is it? I don't know where it is.
But it's like a big chunky tripod that we used to use for weddings.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got that. I've got a little tiny Sunpack brand travel tripod. That is what I'm using right here. And it's like, it was $30. It does not get very tall.
It's like a Best Buy brand or something.
Exactly. It's a piece of crap. So I was going on this trip and it's like, I want a tripod. I don't want to bring the giant one. And this one's a piece of crap and doesn't really do anything. So I just didn't bring a tripod. I just went tripodless, which, probably wasn't ideal. And then this thing comes out the next week and I go, well, this is what I've been waiting for. They're focused on making it packed down as tiny as possible. There's like no wasted space in between the tripod, and it supposedly is quite stable, and it gets really tall, and it has a fun little feature where there's a hidden iPhone like holder that's built into it, so you can use it with your iPhone kind of all the time because it's got everything you need. So I said, sure, Peak Design, take my money. Take my money. And they're coming out. Go ahead.
On the first Kickstarter campaign they did on the backpack, how much did you spend on that?
Ooh, I backed that one. I'm going to tell you. So why don't you tell me about the two different versions they have of this tripod while I look that up?
Sure. So Nick has gotten the aluminum Peak Design travel tripod, which is a $289 pledge. They say they're going to sell this tripod for $350, so you get a discount for buying it early. But I have a carbon fiber travel tripod, a pretty cheap Me Photo brand, and I think, well, I say cheap, but I spent $300 I think on it. Peak Design has a carbon fiber model which they are currently selling on Kickstarter for $479, and that's the Kickstarter discounted price. If you want to buy this retail when it finally comes out, it's going to be $600. So that's I
pricey.
need to know more about these tripods because I need to understand, like, why would I ever spend $600 on this expensive tripod?
So I went and looked, and from what I did, honestly, I kind of just backed it without doing much research. But there were a couple like
you're
review.
A fan. Like you backed.
I've been very pleased with everything that they've put out. And I, by the way, backed at the $380 level for the backpack because I got a bunch of like little stuff with it, like their camera straps and other things that came with it. So that's what I
bring up their first Kickstarter because I'm just curious. Peak Design is one of those companies that like started on Kickstarter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think they had like a little camera clip that they started with, and they've kind of just been iterating since then.
Well, and I just love the idea of these kinds of companies that have their big break through Kickstarter, and then they keep coming back to the platform. Like, this is just insane. I'm looking at the Kickstarter right now, and I guess they're only 10 days in. It must be a 60-day Kickstarter,
right.
And they've raised $5.3 million. Like, it's just an insane number to see on this platform. How many backers?
People, they're very thoughtful about how they design things, and I've just been incredibly pleased. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me, knowing that I just went through this. I don't have a good tripod to take with me travel, and then they announced this great one that looks awesome, and I said, all right, I'm in. You sold me.
So you were sold on the aluminum. Why not upgrade to the twice as expensive carbon fiber?
I just don't use it enough to justify that much money. It's already a bit of a splurge, I think, going for a $280 one. So I'm not that worried about the weight, when I go. It surprisingly isn't. I mean, I know probably for people like you who travel all the time, like every pound counts, but it's 3.44 pounds versus 2.81 pounds. So, I mean, noticeable, but not like life changing for the extra money.
That's about the weight difference I think I was looking at when I was looking at the Mi Photo tripods. They sell them in aluminum and carbon fiber, and it was something like that. It was like 2.5 pounds versus 3.5 pounds. And actually, it may have been even closer to like 3 versus 4 pounds. And I remember thinking like, well, that doesn't sound like very much of a difference. And then I picked each one up and I was like, oh, that extra pound.
You noticed it, I'm sure.
So I kind of thought if the whole point is travel to keep it lightweight, I might as well splurge for the carbon fiber.
And this is your full-time job, right? So I think it makes a little more sense for you to do that. Whereas for me, it's more of a hobby toy.
I'm curious because it looks like a pretty small, like it looks like they did a good job of, like you said, using every available inch and really cramming all the features in. Like it looks pretty compact. It looks more compact than my current tripod.
And yours is which one? The Mi Photo Road Trip?
Mi
carbon
Photo.
Fiber?
Yeah, Road Trip.
They actually they have a comparison. They're the exact same. The Peak design is actually just barely longer, 0.1 inch longer.
Oh, it looks so short in the picture.
The max diameter, though, is 3.1 inches versus your max diameter of 4.4 inches. So it's a good bit skinnier.
Well, yeah, for those who are not watching the video version, where maybe we've thrown in a photo or two, if you're listening to audio, what looks so weird about this Peak design is it's not like a traditional, like my Mi Photo is 4 columns or like cylinders, like the 3 legs and then the center column down the middle. And so in theory, that's a lot of wasted space around all those cylinders. The Peak design, it's like they've designed like triangle-shaped legs. They all
that fit together kind of perfectly. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty neat. And they showed, how quick they designed it to set up and tear down super fast, so you can extend all the legs kind of at once in one motion, and just smart stuff like that. That's why. And the head they use is super easy to adjust. There's only one adjustment on the head to lock and unlock it, to move it in any direction. So
it does not look like a ball head. Like every tripod out there, all the travel tripods have the same looking ball head, and this just doesn't look like that at all. This looks like some sort of weird screw. It almost looks like the top of a weird monopod or something. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, they've got video of it, so you'll have to check out the video, but it looks very clever and intuitive and easy to use. Now, the only thing, obviously, it's not a fluid head, right? So I'm not going to be using this for pans and things like that when shooting video, but that's not really what it's for.
And I think, like, aside from event videos, like, I haven't used a pan in a video in, like, 10 years. I think just the style, people have gotten away from that a little bit. I think people have lighter weight cameras, so travel tripods are starting to make a lot more sense than, like, back when we bought our heavy Manfrotto tripods.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to mess with it, but right now it says, December, so it's still a ways out from being
like, this is something that they have prototypes, but presumably all this money is going to go towards, like,
real production,
manufacturing. Yeah. And does this thing get tall enough?
Yeah, that's my other problem with my little cheapy travel tripod is it's super short. This one gets, now I'm off that screen, maximum deployed height is 60 inches.
Let's see, what is 60 inches?
Your Mi Photo Road Trip carbon fiber is 61.6 inches, so just barely shorter than what you've got.
Okay. So that's only 5 feet.
Is that usually enough for you, or do you feel like you don't have enough height sometimes?
It is enough for most things I want to do. I mean, I'm actually using mine right now. It's just on a desk. I mean, it doesn't need to get very high. In fact, I don't even have the legs out. I just have the center column up a tiny bit to get it above my head. The only time it's a problem is if I'm interviewing someone who's standing up. They're probably taller than the camera. But any sit-down interview I've ever done, it's fine for that.
Good. You want to tell me about this? Oh, you got more questions about the tripod? I was going to move on.
Yeah, my last question is, you mentioned the iPhone thing? Like it holds an iPhone? What is that? I don't understand.
You've seen those like little clamps you can get to hold an iPhone. They've got a little tripod mount on it. You know what I'm talking about? It's got one of those that's designed to work with its clip, and it's built into the bottom of the center column. So you can just twist it out, and you've got that little mount. Put your iPhone on there, and then when you're done, it goes back inside the center column. So it's just kind of like always there and available, which is neat.
Yeah.
It's like underneath the center column hook that you can use for, weighing it down or whatever.
It also looks like they just managed to design a center column that's really thin.
Yeah. So, that's what you hope it's going to be stable and sturdy enough. And the initial review said, yes, it holds pretty big rigs pretty well. So,
yeah.
I'm excited to check it out.
I don't think I could bring myself to spend $479 on the carbon fiber one.
Well, yeah, you've already got a carbon fiber travel tripod, and a little less important for you.
Yeah.
But $289, I picked one up.
And you are one of the nearly 12,000 backers of this thing.
Yes, I am. So I probably have more money than sense, but that's what I'm doing.
So yeah, you started to allude to, there's another Kickstarter campaign that I just thought I would bring up because it's an interesting product. It's not the wild runaway success of the Peak Design.
Yeah.
It's not a big name. This is a small company that has created something called it's a company called Alter, and they have something called the Rapid Filter System.
Okay.
I should hold mine up because they actually sent me one.
Oh, cool.
So I'm not a backer of it. I'm someone who got one for free, and you can listen to me talk right now and decide for yourself if I'm credible or if I'm just a shill.
Not, folks, he is a shill.
No, but all it is I don't know if you have this thing pulled up. It's just it's a metal ring that attaches to the front of your lens like a filter does, but then it's a little flip up element that the filter actually screws into. I mean, you can put whatever filter you want. I use a lot of ND filters, but I like the idea that I could go outside with an ND filter, flip it open, flip it closed when I'm not, or when I need it, flip it open when I don't need it. It's magnetic. Because my greatest fear is unscrewing a filter and it just falling out of my hands and smashing on the ground, which has happened to me.
More than once, probably.
Yeah, more than once, yeah. In fact, I think one of their promo pictures for this thing is like someone in a helicopter over Central Park. I mean, it's clearly like a faked photoshopped image, but it sells the idea that like you could be in a helicopter doing some cool aerial photography.
Do you find though when you so if you're out shooting with an ND filter, like are you having to take it on an awful lot, or I mean, if you're outside, don't you kind of just leave it on?
Well, yeah. I think for a lot of the shooting I do, I've gotten used to. I mean, it's stuck on the camera, so I'm just gonna have to shoot with it.
Yeah.
Some people use variable ND filters. I've just kind of gotten away from that. But I do find, I mean, I think for most of the outdoor shooting I'm leaving it on. But if I'm heading from sun to shade or sun to indoors, I am taking those on and off a lot, and that can be a problem. Or it just slows me down.
So you think it's going to be handy? It looks like it's well made.
Oh, yeah. It is well made, yeah. It's solid. I don't know what kind of metal it is.
We'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah. They are much closer to their deadline. They are, I think, by the time we publish this, they'll be a week out from their deadline. They're getting close to their goal. They're hoping to raise $100,000, and they're at $84,000 as of this moment.
All right. Well, if that sounds good, you go back them.
So, also today, I want to talk about a super secret Panasonic announcement that I've been told a little bit about. But before we do that, we should mention our gracious sponsor.
Hey Indie Filmmakers is brought to you by Squarespace. Bring your stories to life with Squarespace, the easiest way to create an exceptional website, blog, portfolio, or online store.
As you know, griffinhammond.com and Hey.film, this podcast's website, are both hosted on Squarespace, have been for a couple of years. And actually, I just started doing indie news again on Indie Mogul.
Nice.
And IndieMogul.com is also a Squarespace site. And Indie Mogul Indie News is also sponsored by Squarespace. So I'm also doing Squarespace ad reads.
Sponsored by Squarespace. So we thank you, Squarespace, for your support.
You can try Squarespace free for 14 days. You can just go to the site right now and sign up for a free trial. But before you buy something, if you want to buy a domain or a hosting plan, go to squarespace.com/Griffin, and you can actually get 10% off your first purchase. That's a special offer for our Hey Indie Filmmakers audience.
Deal and a half.
Okay, so this Friday in Los Angeles is Cinegear Expo. Have you heard of this before?
No, I have not.
I think I've been to Cinegear once or twice. Annual event in Los Angeles, focused on, as you would imagine, cinematography more so than photography, like some other shows.
And the gear of cinematography, I'm going to guess.
Right. The Cinegear, you might say.
Yes.
And so my friends at Panasonic, in the Lumix part of Panasonic, have told me that they have a product announcement this Friday.
Okay.
And that's about all they've told me.
Okay.
They won't say what the product is. So I looked at some rumor sites, and, well, like, as you can imagine, people were posting things like, hey, could this be the GH6 maybe?
I think there would be a little more build-up for that, but what do I know?
Right, and I tend to think that if it was the GH6, I think I'd probably know a lot more. So I don't think it's that. A lot of the rumor sites are saying that it's some sort of, like, it could be like another full-frame thing, maybe more tailored towards cinematographers, which would make sense because it's being announced at Cinegear. I also just wonder if, like, it could just be a firmware upgrade for one of their existing cameras, like maybe the S1,
or like a new XLR adapter, or some sort of
who knows? It could be
product.
the Micro Four Thirds 10 to 25 millimeter zoom lens. It's like f1.7 or something. I don't know. All they said was product announcement. So I suppose, I don't know, that could mean firmware, but probably means a camera or a lens or something.
Well, normally you've got the inside track, so if you don't know, they're really keeping their cards close to the chest.
Right. Well, I think that's why I'm telling you, because, like, I'm intrigued that they wouldn't tell me. They often tell me more details than this. But I think whatever it is they're excited about this announcement. So I'm telling you just because if you are into Lumix stuff, you probably want to pay attention to this Friday at 12:30 p.m. Los Angeles time. I think they're going to do a live stream. If you just, like, go to any of the Lumix accounts, like on Instagram right now, you'll see them hyping this up on Friday.
Well, this will be fun.
Yeah. How's your camera clock?
Oh, 19 minutes. We're doing good. I think we're going to make it under the wire. Let's just keep it rolling.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to share with you today was that I ran a half marathon recently.
Yes. Congratulations. You were very fast, as I recall.
Yeah, my goal was to beat my time, a time that I've been struggling to beat for a long time. For like 3 years, I've wanted to beat my own half marathon personal record, and I finally did it. I finally got to under an hour 40 minutes, so I did it like 1:39 something.
You ran a half marathon in a similar amount of time that I ran a 10K.
No, what was your 10K time?
I don't know, like over an hour though.
Yeah.
I'm not very fast, folks. You're going to be shocked to learn. Speed Demon, I am not.
Well, if you're not a runner, if you're not familiar with these kinds of times, so like an hour 40 half marathon it meant I had to do faster than, it was like 7:37 per mile. So
for how many miles is a half marathon?
For 13.1 miles.
That's too many miles for any person to run. Just going to put it out.
So I'm still not like fast. I'm not like elite fast. Like there's I mean, the people that win these things are doing them in like 1:10, and but I'm very happy to have achieved what I've achieved.
Congratulations.
But so I was super excited because this is the race I want to do it in. This was the Brooklyn Half Marathon. I love this race. They also have free photos at this race.
Oh, normally you have to pay for them, right?
Yeah, and normally they're super expensive. Like a lot of times these companies like Marathon Photo or something, they'll charge like $75 for a photo download.
Not cool, man.
Or like you're buying like a package or something. So this race, they do like a sponsored thing where Strava, the site that I use to track all my runs, I think they sponsor the photos, make them free. And the photos are by a company called Gameface Media.
Okay.
And they do some sort of like, not really it's not nearly as sophisticated as like facial recognition, but I guess it can like read all the bib numbers.
Oh, that's cool.
So they just take like thousands of photos and then they run it through their system and it tries to match up bib numbers. So you just type in your name, it knows my bib number, so it just looks for that in every picture. And so I type in my name. Yeah, it shows me one picture, and it's not even me, because it's like someone has their hand over the first number of their bib, and so the rest of the numbers on their bib are my numbers.
Okay.
So it gets tripped up pretty easily. So I couldn't find any photos like legitimately of me. But I was able to kind of like...
You did not actually beat your personal record. You weren't there. It was all a dream.
Yeah, I guess. I had the race of a lifetime, and there's not a single photo to show for it. But I was able to kind of like... I did some investigative work. I found other runners who finished around me and was able to kind of like reverse engineer.
Go look through their pictures and find you.
So like, let me send you my favorite photo of myself that I found at this race. Can you see it if I send it to your iOS?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me if you could see me in this photo.
I guess you're the person all the way on the right, because that's a pale arm I'm seeing. So that must be you.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful picture of some other runner, and then I'm just like, my arm is
that guy's a lot
it.
buffer than you are. I'm just going to point that out, too.
Let's see. Let's find another one. Oh, here's another one of me. I'll send this to you too. Tell me if you can find me in this one.
I guess all the way on the left? Is that your left arm with the watch on it?
No, I'm all the way on the right in the hat.
Oh, that's you with the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't tell that was you.
Okay, I think in here there's like one almost decent photo of me, but it's still like too far away.
All right.
Same vantage point, but you can actually see me here.
Oh yeah, there you are. Look at you, and you're floating in midair.
Yeah. The problem
Pretty
was
nice.
I was really pushing hard here, and so I went to like the outside to get around everyone and pass everyone. Right, this was right before the finish line.
So this is the best picture of the whole thing, right here.
Probably, yeah. I mean, there may be other photos of me hidden.
Now, does it
somewhere.
like if you're searching by your name, does it like think your bib number is something else, and that's why it's not pulling you up or something?
No, it knows my bib number. It's just like there's like no matches. Like
That's strange.
Let's see here. I'll find there is one picture of me, kind of, but like you can see why this wouldn't get picked up by the automated system, because I'm like trapped behind people.
You look tired, buddy. Stop, take a drink,
Yeah,
relax a minute. Too much work. Well,
So now I need,
congratulations.
like,
Look
I
at
need
the
to come
guy
up
in
with my
front of
own
you is
automated
so
system.
bored he's checking his phone, and you look like you're gonna die. It's funny.
Why is he checking his phone? He hasn't even crossed the finish line yet.
No,
You can
he's
see
like,
the finish line.
you know, I'm just gonna check Twitter, see what's going on, see what the president tweeted today. Says that he's the leisurely pace you were at with this gentleman.
Maybe he's hitting the like finish button on his phone, like he's ending the clock.
Yeah. Well, congrats on your personal record. That's exciting. You know, if I ever run a half marathon, it will be my personal record. So I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been thinking about getting back into running. I need to sign up for one to kind of... I think I'm going to do another 10K, though, because I had a lot of trouble with my first 10K. So it's time to do another one, maybe beat that personal record.
Well, this is the exciting thing to me about running, especially like at the beginning of your running career, is that you are setting PRs all the time. And so like you ran 110K, you could definitely improve on it. So it'll be a fun challenge.
You need to help me. I have no idea how to go train for a 10K. So you need to tell me like how long I run and what days and things, and then I'll do it.
Well, did you use anything before?
Yeah, I found like a couch to 10K program, but it was all about just like how long you could run for. It didn't really have any distance targets, and I'm thinking this time I kind of want some distance targets.
Yeah. Well, I would just, I can give you more advice, but I would just recommend Hal Higdon. If you just Google Hal Higdon, like use his like beginner 10K program, and it has
All right,
mileage.
I'm bookmarking this right now. Time-tested training from the renowned runner, author, and coach. Beautiful. Yeah. Can I use Strava with Apple Watch?
Yes. I actually use the built-in Apple app, like the running app on the watch, and then it's kind of annoying, but there's actually a pretty decent app on the iPhone called like Health to Fit or something, and it migrates all your stuff automatically. Or It's called Health Fit.
I will check it out.
And it gets it onto Strava for me, because I prefer the native app to the Strava app.
Okay. Good to know, because I have an Apple Watch. Because I'm a workout maniac, as you know. Always have been, always will be.
I do want to mention, for anyone who's interested in my running career and the intersection of that and video, this Thursday I'm running a half marathon at midnight in Brooklyn. And it's a really weird race. It's like there's 8 checkpoints, and you just have to make it from one to the next. There's no set course. You just have to like figure out your way through Brooklyn.
Nice.
In the middle of the night.
Sounds dangerous.
And they are
Good.
live streaming this thing, although I assume that means they're live streaming the leaders, which will not be me. So you could check out the live stream, which I'll put in the show notes, but you probably won't see me.
Well, not if there's any artificial intelligence involved, because they don't like you. All right, my friend, I think it is time we wrap it up. It's been a great episode. I'm excited for my new tripod. I'm glad you're so fast. And we'll find out what Panasonic has up their sleeves here on Friday.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking with me.
All right. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Is that light you're using, what color is it? Is it adjustable? I think
it is adjustable. Yeah, it's the warmest it will go. You can't see it now, but I'm going to turn off the light and back on so you can kind of see what it's doing. You can correct me later. I might be a little shiny on my forehead, I guess, but